can't depend on your family. You can't depend on your friends. You can't depend on a beginning. You can't depend on an end. You can't depend on intelligence. You can't depend on God. You can only depend on one thing. You need a busload of faith to get by. Watch it, baby. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Need a busload of faith to get by. You can't depend on the worst always happening. You can't depend on a murderer's drive. You can bet that if you rape somebody, there'll be no trouble having a child. You can bet that if she aborts it, pro-lifers will attack with rage. You depend on the worst always happening. Need a busload of faith to get by. Yeah! Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by, baby. Busload of faith to get by. Can't depend on the goodly-hearted made lampshades and soap. You can't depend on the sacrament, no Father, no Holy Ghost. You can't depend on any churches unless there's real estate that you want to buy. You can't depend on a lot of things. You need a busload of faith to get by. What? Busload of faith to get by. 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 You can't depend on no miracle. You can't depend on the air. You can't depend on a wise man. You can't find them 'cause they're not there. You can't depend on cruelty. Crudity of thought and sound. You can't depend on the worst always happening. You need a busload of faith to get by. Huh! Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by. Busload of faith to get by.
I was up in the morning with the TV blaring, brushed my teeth, sitting watching the news. All the beaches were closed, the ocean was a Red Sea, but there was no one there to part it in two. There was no fresh salad, cause there's hypers in the cabbage. Staten Island disappeared at noon. And they say the Midwest is in great distress, and NASA blew up the moon. The ozone layer has no ozone anymore, and you're gonna leave me for the guy next door? I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. They arrested the mayor for an illegal favor, sold the Empire State to Japan. And Oliver North married William C. Cord and gave birth to a little Tehran. And the Ayatollah bought a nuclear warship. If he dies, he wants to go out in style. And there's nothing to eat that don't carry the stink of some human waste dumped in the Nile. Well, one thing is certainly true. No one here knows what to do, and I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. Radio said there were 400 dead in some small town in Arkansas. Some whacked out trucker drove into a nuclear reactor, killed everybody he saw. Now he's on Morton Downey and he's glowing and shiny. Doctors say this is a medical advance. They say the bad makes the good and there's something to be learned in every human experience. Well, I know one thing that really is true. This here's a zoo and the keeper ain't you, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you. They ordained the Trumps and then he got the mumps. He died being treated at Mount Sinai. And my best friend Bill died from a poison pill some wired doctor prescribed for stress. My arms and legs are shrunk, the food all has lumps. They discovered some animal no one's ever seen. It was an inside trader eating a rubber tire after running over Rudy Giuliani. They say the president's dead, no one can find his head. He's been missing now for weeks, but no one noticed it. He had seemed so fit. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you. I'm so sick of you. Bye, bye, bye. Bye, bye, bye. There's blacks with knives and whites with clubs fighting at Howard Beach. There's no such thing as human rights when you walk the New York streets. A cop was shot in the head by a 10-year-old kid named Boot in Central Park last week. The fathers and daughters lined up by the coffins by the statue of bigotry. Hey, you better hold on. Something happening here. You better hold on. Well, I'll meet you at Tompkins Square. The dopest sent a message to the cops last week and they shot him in the car where he sat. And Eleanor Bumpers and Michael Stewart must have appreciated that. There's a rampaging rage rising up like a plague, of bloody vials washing up on the beach. It'll take more than the Angels or Iron Mike Tyson to heal this bloody breach. Hey, hey, you better hold on, or something's happening here. You better hold on. I'm gonna meet you in Tompkins Square. A junkie ran down a lady, a pregnant dancer. She'll never dance, but the baby was saved. He shot up some China white and nodded at the wheel, and he doesn't remember a thing. They shot that old lady cause they thought she was a witness to a crime she didn't even see. Whose home is the home of the brave by the statue of bigotry. Hey, better hold on, or something's happening here. You better hold on. There's a riot in Tompkins Square. You got a black 38 and a gravity knife. You still have to ride the train. There's the smelly essence of New York down there, but you ain't no Bernard Getz. There's no mafia lawyer to fight in your corner for that 15 minutes of fame. The have-nots are bleeding in the tub. That's New York's future, not mine. Oh, you better hold on, or something's happening here. You better hold on. Hey, baby, something's happening here. Hold on. Ooh, baby. things you do. And here comes Jesse Jackson. He talks of common ground. Does that common ground include me? Or is it just a sound that shakes? Or Jesse, you must watch the sounds you make. A sound that quakes. There are fears that still reverberate. Jesse, you say common ground. Does that include the PLO? What about people right here, right now, who fought for you not so long ago? The words that flow so freely, falling dancing from your lips. I hope that you don't cheapen them with a racist slip. Oh, common ground. Is common ground a word or just a sound? Common ground. Remember those civil rights workers buried in the ground. If I ran for president and once was a member of the Klan, wouldn't you call me on it the way I call you on Farrakhan? And Pontiff, pretty Pontiff, can anyone shake your hand? Or is it just that you like uniforms and someone kissing your hand? Or is it true? The common ground for me includes you too. Oh, is it true? The common ground for me includes you too. Good evening, Mr. Waldheim. Pontiff, how are you? As you both stroll through the woods at night, I'm thinking thoughts of you. And Jesse, you're inside my thoughts as the rhythmic words subside. My common ground invites you in, or do you prefer to wait outside? Or is it true? The common ground for me is without you. Or is it true? The common ground for me is without you. Or is it true? There's no ground common enough for me and you.